As you begin to email market more, there's something I want you to learn from larger companies. And when you have the right perspective, you're going to see a quick shift or a change in how you do email marketing. You guys know my name is Leland Baptist. I'm here to help local business owners market their business better using automation, AI, and today we're talking about email marketing. So this morning I got an email from Starbucks. What you notice here is that Starbucks website, their website is actually starbucks.com. But when you look right here from the senders area, and I'll kind of zoom in so you guys can kind of get a better look of it. You notice right here that it says e.starbucks.com. So you're probably wondering like, what is that, right? Because it's not starbucks.com. Well, they have what's called a subdomain. In other words, the emails that are being sent are subdomain emails. Why is that important? Well, more than likely, Starbucks has thousands, if not millions, maybe even hundreds of millions of email addresses within their email marketing database. And when you're sending out emails through marketing channels, right, primarily through different email service providers, there may be people who might give you, let's say, bad email addresses. Like how many of us have gone to a Starbucks, a Dunkin' Donuts, and it requested you to give them your phone number, right, or your email in order to access their Wi-Fi. Okay, and maybe on purpose or mistake, you have given Starbucks a false email before, right? Nonetheless, they add that email to their database, and there's a back-end automation that begins to send out those emails and also warm up the recipient's emails. So there's a way that you can actually verify whether or not someone's email address is active. Okay. So what am I getting at? In order to increase even Starbucks, even their own delivery of being able to send out emails more frequently and more successfully, they have created what's called a subdomain. And you see here, e.starbucks.com. That E, that dot, that's a subdomain. So instead of them sending out an email from, let's say, marketing or Starbucks at starbucks.com, it's Starbucks at e.starbucks.com. Here's what I'm getting at. My personal website is lelandbaptist.com. However, I use subdomains periodically, not just to send emails, but also for other things. So, for example, there is a challenge.lelandbaptist.com. There is a you know social.lelandbaptist.com. The prefix is called a subdomain. All right. So social or education, right? Education.lelandbaptist.com. That's a prefix. That prefix is called a subdomain. Okay. And you can send out marketing emails under a particular subdomain. And what it will do is it won't hurt your overall domain, meaning that as Starbucks is sending emails, they may have an e.starbucks.com. They may have an email.starbucks.com. They may have a no reply dot starbucks.com, not a no reply at Starbucks, but a Starbucks at no reply dot starbucks.com, right? And what that does is it protects your overall domain. In this case, Starbucks' overall domain is starbucks.com. All right. Look at another example real quick. Southwest. Okay. So Southwest right here, it's the email that I got from Southwest. And you'll notice that their subdomain is ILUV dot southwest.com. All right. Here's the cool thing about that. Southwest also knows they get tons of emails, maybe just like, Starbucks, they have millions of emails. And what they're going to do is they're going to protect their primary domain, which is southwest.com. Now, you're probably wondering, well, if you're sending a lot of emails and you don't want your primary email address, or email domain to be hurt, why wouldn't you just buy a new domain and then kind of send emails from that way? When you use a brand new domain that maybe your customers may not recognize, a brand new domain that's not readily available out in the internet or Ethernets out there, what can happen is it can give distrust within a community or your customer base. But also it takes what's called time to warm up that actual sending of the emails. So you're better off, instead of getting like a whole new domain, unless you're cold emailing, that's something different. But if you're emailing to a large group of people that have already given you permission to email them, you're better off sending your email through your own domain and then just adding that little subdomain. So now here's what can also happen. As you can see here, I just unsubscribed from Southwest, right? And their email is southwestairlines@southwest.com. Now, Southwest may or may not, through some automation in the back end or in the background, they may or may not automatically subscribe me to a different email address that could say the following: Southwest Airlines at youlove.southwest.com. You see where I'm getting at? Whereas me unsubscribing from this particular list that Southwest has me on, it's going to unsubscribe me from the subdomain of ilove.southwest.com. Southwest may or may not, at this point in time, choose to subscribe me to a different list that may happen to have a new subdomain of whatever .southwest.com. All right. This is just a marketing tactic. Again, people oftentimes are trying to figure out, how is it that this person is successful? How is it that this person is doing well, et cetera, et cetera? When most of the time it's small little tweaks, small details that you're not noticing. And that if you begin to utilize these small tweaks or these small utilizations or these small differences, these small changes, you're going to see it have a larger impact on your marketing overall. So here's your takeaway. If you're a business owner and you're listening, you're like, okay, well, Leland, this is great. What should I do? You already, I pray to God that you already have a website and an actual domain. Okay. So since you already have a website and a domain, right, because you're a good business owner and we're in the age of technology and you have a website, then what you can do is you can go to what's called your domain name servers, which is your DNS files. And you can begin to add subdomains through your DNS. Okay. And so if you know that you want to get better at email marketing, you know that if you present yourself more to your audience, that you are going to make sales, then at that point, we just got to basically get you in front of more people, right? More consistently, more frequently. So in your domain name servers, you can actually go ahead and add additional name servers, or additional subdomains. So at this point, you can really add I love, for example, I love whatever your domain is within your DNS records, and it costs you $0 to do. It's free to do. Okay. So I would suggest, as a takeaway from this, from our chat here, log into your DNS. I don't care who you have. You might have Namecheap, you might have GoDaddy, you might have Squarespace, whoever you have. Log into your DNS and add 3 subdomains for yourself. Then log into your email marketing system. Hence, if it's either, my suggestion for you guys is either GetResponse or Ignite Business Software, right? Those are the only 2 that I would suggest as far as email deliverability and automation, okay? GetResponse or Ignite Business Software. And I'll have affiliate links, etc., for those 2. So you can get like free trials and all that stuff. But log into your email marketing provider and then add your subdomains there. Add your subdomain emails, etc., and confirm them, right? So that you can have the ability to go ahead and send your marketing through those subdomains. Okay. You do that correctly, you can then set up your backend automations to where you can strategically, if you wanted to, maybe every 3rd email you send from your I love subdomain, right? Because again, me unsubscribing from Southwest this morning is me unsubscribing from the subdomain of ilove.southwest.com. If Southwest happens to send me something a month later and it's coming from wefly.southwest.com. Well, guess what? That's a different subdomain. Okay. So keep that in mind, that this is something that larger companies are doing. Whether or not Southwest is doing it or not, I'm not sure. I have to look at my notes. But what I'm getting at though is for everyone real quick. When you are doing your email marketing, just long story short, have more than one subdomain and begin to send out your emails from your subdomain. Okay. Protect your overall domain. Protect your overall domain. All right. Southwest, their overall domain is southwest.com. And they're protecting it by having the subdomain right here, which is I love. Okay. With that being said, much love to you. Hope you have a fantastic and prosperous day. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.